us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Don't hold your breath on people doing the right or ethical thing. People make decisions based on self-interests, not on what is right. Nothing prevents happiness like the memory of happiness. Often there is a time gap between knowing better and doing better. Start prioritizing your mental health instead of adjusting to toxic spaces. If you haven't the strength to impose your own terms upon life, then you must accept the terms it offers you. The more distant you are, the more you can see the whole picture. You have a broader view with less emotional confusion. The best thing you can do for society is to take care of yourself first. Even if you've been dumped on and mistreated, you have to not become bitter, not mistreat or dump on others. You can't make people love you the way you love them. The regret of putting first those who don't put you first make your life painful. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. The most important thing is to look ahead. The past is your anchor. Life is a succession of lessons that must be lived to be understood. Before a new chapter is begun, the old one has to be finished. Tell yourself that what has passed will never come back. Nothing is irreplaceable. A habit is not a need. No matter how many people you surround yourself with, you will always be alone. It's up to you to pick yourself up and carry on. When you're driving through the darkness, you can only see as far as the headlights shine, but you can make the whole trip that way. In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not yet the end. If it makes you nervous, you're doing it right. What a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't happened yet. There is only one thing more painful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. In any given moment, we have two options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. One of the fastest ways to improve your life is to simply do what you said you were going to do. Your future self is watching you through your memories. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. The trouble is, if you don't risk anything, you risk more. Hope itself is like a star, not to be seen in the sunshine of prosperity, and only to be discovered in the night of adversity. You can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it up again. One finds limits by pushing them. The past cannot be changed. The future is yet in your power. If you hate starting over, stop quitting. Whatever the mind can think and perceive, it can achieve. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking permission. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. The limits of the possible can only be defined by going beyond them into the impossible. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. Adversity introduces a man to himself. If the path is beautiful, let us not ask where it leads. All we are is the result of all we have thought. The task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you. The time you kill does not die without avenging itself. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. The future is always beginning now. Your greatest self has been waiting your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer. One secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes. There is meaning in every journey that is unknown to the traveler. Don't carry your mistakes around with you. Instead, place them under your feet and use them as stepping stones to rise above them. Once you realize you deserve a bright future, letting go of your dark past is the best choice you will ever make. Folks are usually about as happy as they make up their minds to be. At some point, you have to divorce yourself from doing the things that other people want from you. The road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. Wake up determined and go to bed satisfied. It's always too early to quit. Growing up is losing some illusions in order to acquire others. You are always one decision away from a totally different life. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these: it might have been. You cannot find peace by avoiding life. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Your life is your story. Write well. Edit often. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. 20 years from now, You'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did. The bad news is, time flies. The good news is, you're the pilot. Tell the truth, or someone will tell it for you. To choose doubt as a philosophy of life is akin to choosing immobility as a means of transportation. Life shrinks or expands in the proportion to one's courage. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? If we all did the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. We aim above the mark to hit the mark. You can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. Sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can fall together. The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be the beginning. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Despite everything, it's still you. Change the world by being yourself. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you are willing to do. Your attitude determines how well you do it. You are always stronger and more resourceful than you give yourself credit for. Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. With confidence, you have won before you have started. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. The only place where your dream becomes impossible is in your own thinking. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. The discontent and frustration that you feel is entirely your own creation. People don't resist change. They resist being changed. Life isn't fair. It's just fairer than death. That's all. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. If you wait for something, all that happens is that you get older. Just because your path is different from others doesn't mean you're lost. It is difficult to make the right choice if you fear choosing wrongly. Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stop you. You grow up the day you have your first real laugh at yourself. We are all faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with the best you have to give. Maturity is when you stop complaining and making excuses and start making changes. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. No matter how much suffering you went through, you never wanted to let go of those memories. Go forth on your path, as it exists only through your walking. The art of living lies less in eliminating our troubles than in growing with them. Life isn't something you possess, it's something you take part in. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. On the other side of the storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. Raise your sail and begin. Life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forwards. You can have it all, just not all at once. Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see further. That it will never come again is what makes life so sweet. Although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you are. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. The world stands aside to let anyone pass who knows where he is going. Change is never painful. Only resistance to change is painful. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Difficulties are meant to rouse, not discourage. The human spirit is to grow strong by conflict. Finding the lesson behind every adversity will be the one important thing that helps get you through it. Dreams happen when you're asleep. Hope happens when you dream while you're awake. you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that is coming. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. Fear is just excitement in need of an attitude adjustment. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I have learned not to allow rejection to move me. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. It's not the load that keeps you down. It's how you carry it. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back to the same box. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. The days are long, but the years are short. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes, and move on. When you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. Step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. At the end of the day, let there be no excuses, no explanations, no regrets. You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. Be careful the stories you're telling yourself about your current circumstances. A head full of negative thoughts has no space for positive ones. Strong people have a strong sense of self-worth and self-awareness. They don't need the approval of others. If there was nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Waiting is painful. Forgetting is painful. But not knowing which to do is the worst kind of suffering. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. I never change. I simply become more myself. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. There is hope, even when your brain tells you there isn't. You only fail when you stop trying. Adventure may hurt you, but monotony will kill you. Maybe the path that scares you the most is the one you need to take. Sometimes carrying on, just carrying on, is a superhuman achievement. We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. Adversity is not a detour. It is part of the path. Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents, which in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant. Never lose hope. Storms make people stronger and never last forever. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Someday is not a day of the week. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Hard times may have held you down, but they will not last forever. When all is said and done, you will be increased. Never limit your view of life by any past experience. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. How much you can learn when you fail determines how far you will go into achieving your goals. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. The things you do for yourself are gone when you are gone, but the things you do for others remain as your legacy. Not being heard is no reason for silence. Remember, no effort that we make to attain something beautiful is ever lost. Forever is composed of nows. This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. Sometimes you have to lose all you have to find out who you truly are. Courage is found in unlikely places. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. One of the most important things you can accomplish is just being yourself. You have to be where you are to get where you need to go. If you fuel your journey on the opinions of others, you are going to run out of gas. We are not a product of what has happened to us in our past. We have the power of choice. If you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Courage is the power to let go of the familiar. Take the attitude of a student. Never be too big to ask questions, and never know too much to learn something new. Old ways won't open new doors. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. There comes a time in your life when you have to choose to turn the page, write another book, or simply close it. If your heart is broken, make art with the pieces. I hope you heal from things no one ever apologized for. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. Reputation is what other people know about you. Honor is what you know about yourself. You can clutch the past so tightly to your chest that it leaves your arms too full to embrace the present. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. You must live in the present. Launch yourself on every wave and find your eternity in each moment. Fools stand on their island of opportunities and look toward another land. There is no other land. There is no other life but this. Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. A stumble may prevent a fall. Life is too short to waste your time on people who don't respect, appreciate, and value you. The human capacity for burden is like bamboo, far more flexible than you'd ever believe at first glance. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of chaos. And sometimes in the middle of chaos, you find yourself. A goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. I survived because the fire inside me burned brighter than the fire around me. Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful part of us. Adversity is like a strong wind. It tears away from us all but the things that cannot be torn, so that we see ourselves as we really are. The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. Growth is painful. Change is painful. But nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. It's not about perfect. It's about effort. And when you bring that effort every single day, That's where transformation happens. We don't even know how strong we are until we are forced to bring that hidden strength forward. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Our greatest battles are that with our own minds. Experience is not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you. It is not what you say out of your mouth that determines your life. It's what you whisper to yourself that has the most power. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but doesn't get you anywhere. You cannot change anyone, but you can be the reason someone changes. The most authentic thing about us is our capacity to create, overcome, endure, transform, love, and be greater than our suffering. You cannot protect yourself from sadness without protecting yourself from happiness. Let the improvement of yourself keep you so busy that you have no time to criticize others. Sometimes the place you are used to is not the place you belong. Even if you are on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Sometimes it takes an overwhelming breakdown to have an undeniable breakthrough. It's your reaction to adversity, not adversity itself, that determines how your life story will develop. Never let your sense of morals prevent you from doing what is right. Going through challenging things can teach you a lot, and they also make you appreciate the times that aren't so challenging. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Failure is a bend in the road, not the end of the road. Learn from failure and keep moving forward. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. You will never find time for anything. If you want time, you must make it. A miracle isn't winning the lotto. It's believing in yourself when you didn't before. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. There is time for everything. If you find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. The best view comes after the hardest climb. It always seems impossible until it's done. We can do anything we want to if we stick to it long enough. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. Look in the mirror. That's your competition. Any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomforts. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Don't spend time beating on a wall, hoping to transform it into a door. You become what you believe. Time is a created thing. To say, "I don't have time," is like saying, "I don't want to." It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. We must believe that we are gifted for something, and that this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. Prosperity is not without many fears and disasters, and adversity is not without comforts and hopes. Sometimes you face difficulties, not because you have done something wrong, but because you have done something right. It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. If you dare nothing, then when the day is over, nothing is all you will have gained. The only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is freedom from fear. We need never be hopeless because we can never be irreparably broken. When you compare the sorrows of real life to the pleasures of the imaginary one, you will never want to live again, only to dream forever. History will be kind to you because you intend to write it. Success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get a little better than the day before. It all adds up. Grief and resilience live together. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. The unhappiest people in this world are those who care the most about what other people think. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. A failure is not always a mistake. It may simply be the best one can do under the circumstances. The real mistake is to stop trying. The trick is to enjoy life. Don't wish away your days, waiting for better ones ahead. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give you happiness. Bad days give you experience. Every luxury must be paid for, and everything is a luxury, starting with being in this world. Once you face your fear, nothing is ever as hard as you think. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Do something today that your future